In November 1955, a dense, impenetrable fog enveloped a lonely rural road and transformed an ordinary school bus ride into a nightmare that would haunt the town for generations. As the bus carrying 12 innocent children disappeared without a trace, leaving behind nothing but deep tire tracks, a series of delicate footprints, and the chilling echo of a distorted radio warning, an ancient curse, and whispered legends of a dark pact began to stir, blurring the line between the living and the dead, and beckoning you to question whether the terror of that foggy night was merely a tragic accident or the sinister work of forces beyond our understanding. It was November 1955, a month when the chill in the air carried secrets, and a thick fog blanketed rural roads with an unsettling presence. On one fateful night, a battered school bus carrying 12 innocent children ventured down a shortcut through a rarely traveled road. In what began as an ordinary journey, the mundane soon twisted into an unspeakable nightmare. That evening, as twilight surrendered to darkness, a heavy fog rolled in. The bus, with its faded yellow and red paint, ambled along the winding road. Inside, laughter and gentle chatter filled the cramped interior, each child unaware of the dread that lurked outside. Harold, the bus driver, maintained a calm exterior, though his grip on the steering wheel tightened as an inexplicable sense of foreboding settled over him. Then, amidst the quiet hum of the engine, the radio sprang to life with a distorted message. A trembling voice warned, "Visibility's bad, wait. There's someone standing in the road." Before any further words could emerge, the transmission was abruptly overtaken by static, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. In that suspended moment, it seemed as though the message was a premonition, a final alert, before the inexplicable happened. Moments later, the bus, along with its precious cargo, vanished into the impenetrable fog. No one could say whether it had been swallowed by the mist or spirited away by forces unseen. Only the memory of that last chilling broadcast remained. By the time dawn crept over the horizon, the community was met with a scene that defied all logical explanation. Local police, hastened by frantic calls and mounting rumors, arrived at the scene only to find a set of deep tire tracks that led directly into the surrounding woods. Yet, where one would expect to find the bus, there was nothing, no vehicle, no bodies, only 12 sets of tiny footprints delicately imprinted in the soft mud. These footprints terminated abruptly at the base of a weathered oak tree, as if the children had stepped into another realm of void where they simply ceased to exist. The eerie trail ignited whispers among the locals. Some believed the road itself was cursed, that the fog was more than a natural occurrence, but rather the thin barrier between this world and a darker one. Old legends spoke of a sinister pact, a bargain made in desperate times, where the pure innocence of youth was sacrificed to keep a greater evil at bay. The haunting mystery of the vanishing bus and its missing passengers became the stuff of nightmares, recounted in hushed voices over decades. Detective Marcus Holland was drawn into this mystery by forces both professional and deeply personal. Years earlier, he had suffered an unimaginable loss when his beloved sister had vanished under mysterious circumstances. The pain of that unsolved disappearance had haunted him relentlessly, fueling his determination to uncover hidden truths. When news of the missing bus reached him, he felt an inescapable connection, a sense that the fate of these children was intertwined with the inexplicable loss of his sister. In the quiet solitude of his modest study, surrounded by faded photographs and yellowed newspaper clippings, Marcus pored over every scrap of evidence. The memory of his sister's laughter, once bright and full of life, now mingled with the sorrow of the unknown. The delicate footprints left in the mud became more than just a clue. They were a silent testament to an ancient, unresolved tragedy. They seemed to whisper that the curse was not a one-time event, but a recurring cycle that might claim more lives if left unchecked. Night after night, Marcus and his small team retraced the fateful route into the depths of the woods. The further they delved, the more the natural world appeared to rebel against them. The fog thickened, The air grew icy, and the woods echoed with sounds that defied rational explanation. There were instances when inexplicable phenomena disrupted their investigation. Tools would be found moved from their original places, and an almost imperceptible humming sound of vibration felt deep within the bones seemed to emanate from the earth itself. Amidst these occurrences, there were moments that chilled Marcus to his very core. On one such night, while making his way along a narrow, muddy trail, he encountered a massive, gnarled oak tree. Its bark was etched with patterns that resembled anguished faces, as if the tree itself had borne witness to untold sorrows. In that eerie stillness, Marcus's voice trembled as he uttered, "What do you want from us?" The only reply was a soft, almost imperceptible murmur carried on the wind, as though the forest was trying to communicate an age-old secret. "We are not lost. We are waiting." That single spectral response sent shockwaves through his mind. It was a confirmation that the mystery was not born of human error or chance, but was steeped in something otherworldly, a malevolent force that had been quietly at work for generations. Each whispered echo of that response deepened the dread that had already taken root within him. In a long-forgotten barn at the edge of the woods, bathed in the somber light of pre-dawn, Marcus uncovered a relic of the past, a weathered diary with brittle pages. The diary's contents were both cryptic and horrifying. One passage in particular stood out. "In the year of our despair, when the veil between worlds thins, 12 souls shall wander, and their laughter shall be the lament of the living." It was a prophecy that seemed to speak directly to the events of that fateful night. The diary recounted an ancient pact, a desperate bargain made by villagers long ago, offering the innocent as a sacrifice to keep a dark force at bay. The words painted a grim picture. The sacrifice of children was not an isolated incident, but a ritual that bound their souls to a perpetual state of limbo. As Marcus connected the threads of evidence, the horrifying reality began to emerge. The missing bus, the tire tracks, and those delicate, incomplete sets of footprints were all elements of an unholy cycle, a ritual repeated time and again throughout the ages. The spectral figure reported by Harold on the radio was not an aberration. It was the harbinger of the curse, an entity born of despair and vengeance. The forest, shrouded in an eternal fog, became the arena for a timeless struggle between forces beyond human comprehension. With the first light of dawn casting a pale glow over the woods, the truth stood revealed in its haunting simplicity. The footprints, those fragile remnants of once joyful lives, were not merely traces left behind by the children. They were the echoes of a curse that ensnared their very souls, forever trapping them in a realm between life and death. This was not a case with tidy resolutions. It was an open wound in the fabric of the town's history, a mystery destined to endure for generations. Standing at the fringe of the ancient woods, Marcus felt the full weight of his discovery. His heart was heavy with sorrow, and his eyes betrayed a man who had witnessed too much loss. In the distance, he could faintly hear the ghostly laughter of children, a sound both haunting and beautiful, a lingering reminder of lives interrupted by an unspeakable fate. The forest seemed to whisper secrets on the wind, leaving him with an enduring question. Was the curse truly confined to that foggy November night? Or did it continue to haunt the land, waiting for its next moment to strike? As you listen to this tale, consider the possibility that the fog rolling in on a quiet, cold night may conceal more than just shadows. Perhaps the echoes of lost souls, the whispers in the wind, and the silent imprints of tiny footprints are reminders of a dark pact that still lingers waiting for the right moment to claim new lives. Now I invite you to share your thoughts and theories about what might have really happened that night. Were the footprints a sign of lost innocence claimed by an ancient curse? Or is there another, even more sinister explanation lurking in the mists of time? Your comments and insights are not just welcome, they are essential to unraveling the mystery that refuses to be forgotten. Thank you for listening, to the vanishing of the 12 footprints. Remember, sometimes the most chilling mysteries are those that remain unresolved, urging us to look twice when the fog descends and the world around us whispers of secrets best left undisturbed.